just continue to build that way. So I try to live by that all the time. I had a purpose. I wanted to be one of the best basketball players to ever play. And anything else that was outside of that lane, I didn't have time for.
At what age did that goal become crystal clear?
I made that deal with myself at 13 years old.
At 13 years old?
13 years old. That's the deal I made.
Clear about it.
Crystal clear.
And where did inspiration come from?
The love of the game. The love of the game, the challenge. Like I would watch Magic play, I'd watch Michael play, and I would see them do these unbelievable things. And I'd say, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out. Let's find out. I had a summer where I played basketball when I was like 10 or 11 years old. And here I come playing, and I don't score 1 point the entire summer. I remember crying about it, being upset about it. My father just gave me a hug and said, listen, whether you score 0 or score 60, I'm going to love you no matter what.
Wow.
Now, that is the most important thing that you can say to your child. Because from there, I was like, okay, it gives me all the confidence in the world to fail. But to hell with that, I'm scoring 60. From there, I just went to work. I stayed with it. I kept practicing. I think that's when the idea of understanding a long-term view became important. Because I wasn't going to catch these kids in a week. I wasn't going to catch them in a year, right? So that's when I sat down and said, okay, this is going to take some thought, right? What do I want to work on first? All right, shooting. All right, let's knock this out. Let's focus on this. Half a year, 6 months, do nothing but shoot. When I came back the next summer, I was a little bit better. I scored. Yeah, it wasn't much, right, but I scored 12, 13. And then 14 came around, back half of 13, 14 years old. And then I was just killing everyone. What I had to do was work on the basics and the fundamentals. But they relied on their athleticism and their natural ability. And because I stick to the fundamentals, it just caught up to them. And then my body, my knees stopped hurting. I grew into my frame, and then it was game over.
Wow. Now, were you always competitive from the day you were born? You were super competitive?
Competitive with things that I participate in. So I'll put it to you this way. So basketball for me was the most important thing. So everything I saw, whether it was TV shows, whether it was books I read, people I talked to, everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft. So at 13 years old, I had a kill list. And so, they used to do these rankings, so Street and Smith basketball rankings. And I was nowhere to be found because I was like 6'4", scrawny, like 160 pounds soaking wet. So I was like 57 on the list. And so I would look at 56, 55, all the way up to number 1, who these players are. And I got to hunt them down, right? And so that became my mission in high school, is to check off every other person, all those 56 other names, hunt them down and knock them down. So I would size you up and see what your strengths and weaknesses are. How do you approach the game? Are you silly about it? Are you goofy about it? Are you good at it just because you're bigger and stronger than everybody else? Right? Or is there actually thought and skill that you put into it? Right? And when I'd play to my weaknesses. I was working on the things during those games that I was weak at. Left hand, pull up jump shot, post game. Right? So I have a strategy. Yeah.
What was really your work ethic like, and for how long did you stay disciplined?
Every day. Since 20 years. It was an everyday process and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses. For example, jumping ability. Now, my vertical was a 40, wasn't a 46 or 40, 45. My hands are big, but they're not massive. Right? So you got to figure out ways to strengthen them. So your hands are strong enough to be able to palm a ball and do the things that you need to do. Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast. Right? So I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. And but I enjoyed it though. So like from the time I can remember when I started watching the game, I studied the game and it just never changed.
Well, what does losing feel like to you?
It's exciting because it means you have different ways to get better. There's certain things that you can figure out that you can take advantage of, right? Certain weaknesses that were exposed that you need to shore up. But the hardest thing is to face that stuff. You got to look at the reality of the situation. You know, like for me, it's not, you know, you kind of got to get over yourself, right? And then after that, it's okay, well, why did those air balls happen? Got it. I didn't have the legs. So I look at it with rationale and say, okay, well, the reason why I shot air balls is because my legs aren't there. I go, well, next year they'll be there. Right? I got to get stronger. You have to do the hard stuff and watch that game and study that game to not make those mistakes over and over again. You got to deal with
Face it.
Got to deal with it. Face it, learn from it. It sucks to lose.
Right.
You don't want to have that feeling again, do you? Right? So you got to really study it and face it. And not to say you'll win the next time you face it, but at least you'll give yourself a better chance.
Yeah.
It's an obsessiveness that comes along with it. You want things to be as perfect as they can be, understanding that nothing is ever perfect. But the challenge is trying to get them as perfect as they can be. Mm-hmm. And what can you do? It's in your control. So control what you can.
I don't know if that's what you call the Mamba mindset, but how did you develop that?
Well, when did it start? It started in middle school and high school. Because a lot of the kids that I was playing against were inner city kids. And so they're looking at me as if, okay, this kid's soft. They felt like they could try to be physical or try to intimidate me and do all this other stuff, which they couldn't, right? Trying to attack me, how am I going to attack you? How can I mentally figure out ways to break you down? How can I show you that, no, I have the edge?
And what would you do to mentally break people down then?
One of the things I would do is everybody would be at the cafeteria work, eating and doing all sort of stuff. I just go back to the gym. And so that was my way of showing them, you're not going to outwork me.
Wow.
I see a lot of players take vacations with other players that are close friends. And or just take vacations just to take vacations, or just hang out just to hang out. Like I never did that.
Why not though? Why didn't you do that?
Well, because when I retire, I didn't want to have to say, I wish I would have done more. I don't want that. I play games with the flu. I play games with 102-degree fever, man. And we had a game against Toronto in 2000. And Vince was tearing the league up. My back was jacked. So I would be in the layup line like, okay, there's a lot of days where, you can rest and recover. Today ain't one of them. Your back can bother you any other day. That ain't bothering me today. He gonna have to see me today.
You're playing against the Golden State Warriors. You're about to take your shot, and then all of a sudden, boom, Achilles happens. Friend of mine, Nima, he says, I have no clue how the hell this guy did it. He went and hit the free throws, and then you walked off the stage. How the hell do you tolerate that kind of pain?
I use this. I tell this example, and I think this is the best way to explain it. You have a hamstring injury, you pull your hamstring really, really badly. You're at home, all of a sudden a fire breaks out in the home. I'm willing to bet that you're going to forget about your hamstring. You're going to sprint upstairs. You're going to grab your kids. You're going to make sure your wife's good. You're getting out of that house, right? And the reason is because the lives of your family are more important than the injury of your hamstring. And so when the game is more important than the injury itself, you don't feel that injury. Not at that time.
So you go to the locker room. Then one of the reporters says, but if anyone is going to get through this, it's probably you, right? You put your head down and you say, oh, man, right? And you have tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
What were you thinking in that moment with all that pressure?
I was thinking, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. There's so many factors. There's the surgery that has to take place. The surgery has to go well. And then thinking about what that process of recovery is going to look like. It's a long one. Do I want to do that? I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know.
You don't know if you want to do it, or you don't know if you are going to be able to come back from it.
Both. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I want to do it.
Got it.
When I went in the training room, my kids are in there. And, they're looking at you and stuff, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, it's all right, Dad's gonna be all right. As a parent, you gotta set the example. This is another obstacle. This obstacle cannot define me. It's not gonna cripple me. It's not gonna be responsible for me stepping away for the game that I love. I'm going to step away on my own terms. And that's when the decision was made that, you know what, I'm doing it. Yeah, you got to lead by example. As parents, you got to lead by example. If you want your kids to do whatever it is they want to accomplish in life, you have to show them.
You do the work, you work hard enough, dreams come true. You know that, we all know that. But hopefully what you get from tonight is the understanding that those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And if you guys can understand that, then what you'll see happen is that you won't accomplish your dreams. Your dreams won't come true. Something greater will.
I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. Yeah, I think that's what greatness is or should be. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
What can I say? Mamba out.
Ready to start eating healthier? Meet Kachava.
All right. What's up, familia? Grand Rising and happy Thursday. I hope everybody is having a blessed day. Kachava is definitely everywhere. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Mornings with Nano. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm coming to you guys live from New Jersey right now. We're here with the whole family, and I'm excited. And I want you guys to know we have a huge event here in New Jersey today. We have over 250 plus tickets confirmed for our New Jersey event here. And we are super excited. We are getting ready to have a great day. And, we just finished our full morning routine. We did yoga this morning. We did meditations on just peacefulness. We did meditation on visualization. We did some reading. We did some journaling. And now we are ready to have a great call, get a great lesson, and get ready to start our day, guys. So I'm super excited to be here with all of you guys. Make sure that you guys spread the word in all your group chats. Send that one last message. Let everybody know that Mornings with Nano is live, okay, so that everybody is aware of what's going on. But let's spread that word really quick. One time, I'm sending out one last message in my chat to make sure that everybody knows that we are live and ready to go. But always looking forward, guys, as we know, all is well. Everything is always working in our favor. We expect miracles and we get miracles. And that's what life is all about. It's about living in that positive anticipation that all is going to work out in your favor, that everything is always, in God's alignment. And that's what life is all about. And I'm grateful. We've had a lot of amazing calls this week. And I'm going to continue with a little bit of what we've been going over the last 3 days. We've had some really good topics. We've talked about, having active faith and, just a lot of great things throughout the week that have really made a massive shift in a lot of our mindsets. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and tell me that they've had a lot of breakthroughs over the last few days and that they've been learning a lot. They've been having a lot of breakthroughs and quantum leaps. And I'm excited for what it is that, is going to continue to happen. That just tells you guys that we are reaching new levels of consciousness. Our awareness is increasing. People are awakening themselves to better versions of themselves. And, we're in the month of November. We have less than 50 days left of the year. And it's only getting better and better, fam. So remember, we got to keep going. We got to keep finishing strong because that's the ultimate goal. But before we get the call started, let's practice gratitude. What is one thing that you guys are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box for me. I am grateful for God. I'm grateful for my health, my mind, my body, and my spirit. I'm grateful for my family, my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm grateful for everybody in this house. So grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for the books that I get a chance to read. I'm grateful for, the morning routine we did this morning. Grateful for my team and all the leaders within the organization, Leadership Dynasty, Leadership Academy. Grateful for the roof over my head. Grateful for the event that we have here today and the successful event that we're going to have. Over hundreds and thousands of people I know are going to, be impacted from what it is that we do here today. So I'm excited for that. Excited for the whole Mornings with Nano community. Extremely grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for the breakfast we had this morning. Mina got us some bacon, egg, and cheeses, so I guess she knows the she knows the memo when she's out here. So shout out to Mina. Grateful for Mina for the bacon, egg, and cheeses, and just grateful for life in general, fam. So just make sure you guys are always expressing gratitude, because gratitude is the source where all good things come from. Never forget to express gratitude. You can never, ever express enough gratitude, fam, because at the end of the day, what's gratitude and love, those are the two highest forms of emotion. And as long as you can live in those emotions, you'll always be vibrating high. All right, fam. So with that being said, let's get into today's call. Today, we're going to talk about the law of non-resistance. I've been reading about it, and I wanted to teach you guys some of the things that I've been able to learn from it. Okay. As you guys know, I've been reading this book recently, The Game of Life and How to Play It. And it's a really, really good book. Funny story how I found out about this book. So just the other night, I think it was Sunday night, I was about to go to bed, and I was looking for something to listen to before I went to bed. And I was scrolling through my stories. I was scrolling through stories on Instagram, and I saw that somebody had posted it on their story. And I'm like, let me take a look at it. I like the name of it because, as I always teach, if you don't learn how to play the game will play you. So it was kind of like something that I always, talk about. So it caught my attention. So I ended up going to the YouTube link, and it was an audio of the book on YouTube. Next thing you know, it's like 1 a.m. and I couldn't fall asleep. It was 3 a.m. and I was still listening to the book because it was so good. I couldn't go to sleep. So I'm like, yo, I need to buy the book. I need to buy the book. I need to buy the book because I like to physically have the book in my hand so I can highlight it and I can work through it. And every lesson that I've done this week has been from this book. Everything from active faith, everything from the law of non-resistance, everything that we talked about yesterday. Are you prepared? And all these great things came from, the lessons that I've been learning in this book. And I really needed this book at this time because of everything that it teaches. Now, the law of non-resistance is key. Why is it so key? Because you have to remember that in order for you to get everything you want in life, there can be no resistance. Now, what is resistance when it comes to the spiritual world? Resistance are feelings of fear, doubt, and insecurity and worry. Okay, those are the things that cause resistance from the things that you want. So there is point A and then there's point B. Okay, the space in between, all right, is either going to be a space of resistance or a space of non-resistance. You choose based off of your perception. Okay, your perception is how you view life and how you view the situations that you're going to experience on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so if you're somebody that has no resistance, as an example, that means that everything is positive, everything is at peace. You look at all the obstacles in life as a blessing. Everything always works in your favor. You're always happy, you're always excited. There is no resistance for you. Everything is always flowing. Okay, you're like water. It doesn't matter what's in front of you, you're going to get through it. You're flowing right through it. That's the point where we want to get to, a place of non-resistance. But the thing is that because of our traumas, because of our limiting beliefs, because of our environments and the people that we hang out with, we have a lot of resistance in our lives, which cause us to pause and stop and not have a direct, clear cut, direction towards what we want. And that's where the fear comes in. We talked about it yesterday. What are the kind of fears that we have? We have fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of lack, fear of support. all of those fears are resistance in your life. Okay. The doubts that you have, those are resistances in your life. The worries are resistances in your life. Every kind of bad thought that is not in alignment with your goals is resistance. So, my best advice, and I think what every single person here should do as a kind of almost as an assignment, is sit down and identify what is resisting you. Is it your own thoughts? Is it your fears? Is it your doubts? Is it the things that you think about at night before you go to bed? Because these are the things that you have to cure and you have to heal first. Okay, this is real stuff that I'm talking to you guys about. Every single one of us has things inside of us that we have to heal before we get to the next level. Because understand this, that might be what's stopping you from having that big breakthrough, you overcoming that fear. You fixing that self-talk, like we talked about yesterday, the power of the word, understanding how important the words that you speak are. Maybe you overcoming that is what's stopping you from getting to that next level. And you will keep staying in that same level until you learn that lesson. Okay? And this is what we must understand. You will stay in the same exact place until you learn the lesson. So your problem may be your fears. Until you don't overcome that fear, you will stay there. Your problem may be the spoken word. You're speaking the wrong words. Well, until you don't fix the way that you speak, you will stay there. Okay. Maybe your problem is that you worry too much. Well, until you don't fix all that worry, you're going to stay right there. Okay. It's a test. Understand it, guys. It is a test. So as long as you are in the test, and if you are not studying and ready for the test, you will not be able to pass it. So I want to read something to you guys that I was going through today about the law of non-resistance, which I think you guys are going to get a lot of value from. And I have it highlighted, so I want to make sure that you guys get it. So in the book, listen to what he says. He says, therefore, evil is false. Sorry. Therefore, evil is a false law man has made for himself through psychoma or soul sleep. Soul sleep means that man's soul has been hypnotized by race belief, sin, sickness, and death, which is carnal and mortal thought, and his affairs have outpictured his illusions. What does he mean by that? The thing is that evil is perception, failure is perception, adversity is perception. Okay, if you look at it for what it is, then that's what it'll always be. And what he's saying is, if you're connected with God, you know that there is no such thing as evil. Okay, you know that everything is always working in your favor. You know that everything that is happening for you, not to you. Okay, and we got to understand that. That is so key. That one simple key right there, all right, is everything is happening for you, not to you. Because if it's happening to you, you know what that means? That means you're putting yourself in a victim mindset. But if it's happening for you, you're like, well, this challenge came into my life to make me better. This challenge came into my life to make me more aware. This challenge came into my life because I wasn't paying attention to these areas in my life, and now I need to pay more attention there. Okay? These are things that are happening. So you got to pay attention to what situation is happening in your life right now and see what is it that is wanting to teach you, because it's happening for you, not to you. So don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like a victim about it. That's what he's saying. He said, evil is a false law man has made for himself. There is no such thing as evil. There's no such thing as bad. There's no such thing as adversity if you allow it to be that. You give it the definition. Remember, it's all perception. It's all about how you look at it. You may look at failure as, yo, this is bad. Why is this happening to me? But I could look at it as, yo, this is amazing. I'm glad that this is happening to me. Think about it. It takes the same amount of effort. It's just what is the meaning that you have behind it. I could look at failure, like I said, wow, I am so grateful for this. I'm grateful this situation is happening to me, and I can't wait to learn my lesson from this. Or I can be like, man, why is this happening to me? This always sucks. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. That attitude is what's gonna what? hold you back. Perception is one of our higher faculties. Learning how to give definition to things. Okay. So, and that's something that is going to be required in order for you to live the law of non-resistance. The reason why a lot of people can't live the law of non-resistance is because they have too much resistance. So when you tell people, and me myself, when people would tell me about the law of least effort and the law of non-resistance, I would be like, bro, that's impossible. Like, you have to put the work in, you got to do this. But when you actually learn this stuff and you actually realize, like, I know why they say now that you can do the law of least effort. What is the law of least effort? Being able to accomplish your goal with a least amount of effort. Okay, because remember, where does the effort come from? The reason why we be having to put so much effort into things is because we have too much resistance. We have so much fear, too much doubt, too much negative beliefs inside of our mind that cause us to go through a ton of things, a ton of challenges, a ton of adversities that cause us to now have to put in so much effort into getting out of those situations. We put ourselves in holes that we can't climb out of. We put obstacles in front of ourselves. We hold ourselves back. We distract ourselves. We put ourselves down with the words that we say to each other. So that's why it takes so much effort to get to the things that we want. But eventually you can get to a point where you don't have any of those thoughts anymore. You don't have any of those beliefs, any of those doubts, any of those fears. And guess what? There'll be no resistance and you'll be able to get to your goal in the path of least resistance. Super easy and very simple. So
Usually it's me.
you too funny. But you got to make sure of that, and that's super key. So we want to say that, and it's key. Look, this is what he says here as well. He says in the preceding chapter, we were talking about the power of the word. He says that man's soul is his subconscious mind. And whatever he feels deeply, good or bad, is outpictured by the faithful servant. I'm going to repeat that again because we're about to get deep into this, right? In the preceding chapter, we read that man's soul, okay, is his subconscious mind, okay? And whatever he feels deeply, good or bad, is outpictured by that faithful servant. So let me explain this. If man's soul, okay, your soul, you got to remember this. This is so key. All right. We have the mind, we have the body, and then we have the spirit, which is the soul. Okay. The spirit is the higher version of you. Okay. The best version of you, or it can also be the worst version of you. Okay. Because you choose who it is. And also remember, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Okay, so understand that we are spiritual beings. Like, this is what you see right here. This is my body, but there's a spiritual being that is in control of this body right now. Okay, we got to understand that first. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Okay, so if the soul is the subconscious mind, whatever we feel deeply, okay, we always say this, and for those that know, the only way to impress the subconscious mind is through feelings. Okay, that's the only way that you can impress the subconscious mind. Your feelings are the key to the subconscious mind. That's how you get into the subconscious mind, is through your feelings. Okay, so whatever we feel deeply, okay, so how are you feeling about your current situation? Are you feeling bad about it? Are you feeling sad, depressed, overwhelmed by it? If you feel deeply about your situation like that, then this is what he's saying. Then your subconscious mind is gonna outpicture that faithful servant on the outside. Because remember, it's gonna do what you tell it to do. It's a faithful servant. If you feel bad, you feel stressed, you feel overwhelmed, the subconscious mind is gonna attract more situations to make you feel that way. It's going to attract more situations to make you feel sad, to make you feel bad, overwhelmed, stressed, because that's what you impressed on it. That's what you felt deeply inside of you. So whatever you feel deeply is what's going to be outpictured. Whatever you impress is outpictured. Notice, whatever goes in must go out. Whatever you impress must be expressed. This is why there has to be something that is done on a day-to-day basis to impress our subconscious mind. For example, this morning we woke up, we did meditations, right? We did yoga, we read some books, we listened to audios, we were able to journal in our journals, right? We did all of this before we even got into any kind of calls. Guess what? Now our minds going into the day, we feel good naturally. We read a book. We got a chance to pour into our minds. We cleared our minds of negative thoughts. We set intentions during meditation to practice gratitude. What is gratitude? Gratitude is the highest form of emotion. So to start the day, we did yoga. We feel good because our bodies feel good. We feel amazing. We worked on our mind. We read books. We listened to the audios. We wrote in our journals. Guess what? Our mind, our body, and our spirit is in alignment this morning. For us to have a bad day, the only way we could potentially have a bad day today is if we allow something from the outside to affect us now. But by law, our day is going to flow smoothly. Everything is going to work in our favor. Everything that we worked on this morning, we're just going to attract more situations to make us feel the way that we felt this morning. That's how it works. Okay. And it's being aware now. Okay. Because when situations do arise, you got to remember that you got to pick peace over pleasure always. You got to pick the positive over the negative always. This is why I'm so hard on you guys on, do your morning routine. Work on yourself every morning. Do not slip up on these things. Because my body feels good. We did yoga. My mind feels amazing because we meditated and we visualized. Okay. And everything else feels great. Mind, body, and spirit. It feels amazing. I already pictured the millionaire version of myself when we was visualizing. That's who I am right now. You guys are talking to the millionaire version of Nano. This is not Mornings with Nano on Thursday, November 17. I'm talking to you guys from the end in mind right now. It's a difference. And if you do this every day, you can do the same. That's what I did this morning. I impressed my subconscious mind with the best version of myself, the $100,000 a month version of Nano. So guess what? Now I'm going to outpicture that, and situations are going to arise throughout the day. I'm going to meet people throughout the day that are going to help me make that picture that I had in my mind become a reality. This is how it works. But now I got to be paying attention throughout the day. There may be somebody I meet today that is going to help me accomplish that. Okay. This is how you got to understand this. So going back to what I said, remember, whatever he feels deeply, good or bad, is outpictured by that faithful servant. The faithful servant is your subconscious mind. So pay attention to what's being outpictured. What does the picture look like right now? If you were to take a look at the picture of your life right now, what does that picture look like? That picture is a reflection of what you've been impressing on your subconscious mind and what you've been feeling deeply. Whatever you've been feeling deeply, if you come up to me and I ask you, tell me your situation right now. What is life like? How is your business? How is your relationship? How is family? Based off of what you tell me, based off of what your situation is, I can tell you what you've been feeling deeply and what you've been impressing into your subconscious mind. Based off of that, simple. And if you want to change that, the impressions start now. This is why I've been telling you guys, work now so that when January comes around, February, March comes around, you have your situation is different. You can change your situation now, but it starts now, because remember, the seeds that you plant today are not gonna, be fruitful tomorrow. It takes 90 days, 4 months, 6 months of consistent impression on that subconscious. It has to be something that you feel deeply. And that's super, super key, because look at what he says here. He says, living in a state of non-resistance is heaven. Living in a state of resistance is hell. For it places man in a state of torment. So living in a state of non-resistance, where there's no resistance, no fear, no doubt, no insecurity, no negativity, no worry, no nothing. That's heaven. That is heaven. Hell is living in resistance with all these fears, all these doubts. Because, guys, you got to remember, okay, if you are connected with God and you truly have a connected consciousness with God. That's why we were talking about this week. When the subconscious and the superconscious mind become one and they merge and the Father and the Son become one, that's it. Why? Because that's the state of nothing but perfect thoughts, nothing but peace, nothing but abundance. That's how you get to that state of non-resistance. Okay, but as long as you have those fears and those doubts and those things, your mind is clouded. Your mind is not in the right place to where you want to go. And that's why we must work every single day. That's why I say to people, yo, whatever you do, do not slip on your morning routine. You can slip on your trading. You can slip on prospecting and building your business, but you should never slip on your morning routine. Because if you don't change, nothing else is going to change. In order for you to be successful in trading, you have to be the best version of you. In order for you to be a successful leader in this business, you have to become the best version of you. In order for you to be a good influencer, you got to become the best version of you. You have to. You got to get rid of all the resistance that you have in your life. Okay. And this is just getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper from what we started on Monday, right? On Monday, we started with the lesson. Remember, we talked about the 3 parts of the mind. We talked about the conscious, we talked about the subconscious, and then we talked about the superconscious. Okay. But look, now we're getting deeper into it. We talked about, are you prepared? Yesterday, we talked about the power of the word and the words that we are impressing. Now we're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay. Because understand this, it's one thing to know about this, and there's another thing to know. We know about the subconscious mind, but do we really, really know? So from now on, when I teach things, I'm not just going to teach it so that you can know about it. I'm going to teach it so we can actually know, so we can get deep into the root cause of everything that's happening. Because I understand you guys, because I've been in your positions before, and I'm still not in that perfect state. I don't got this all figured out. I promise you guys, this is so much easier to teach than it is to do. But I am working on it on a day-to-day basis. But here it goes. Okay. And I like this about what he said in the book, and I love this. He said every time a situation shows up in his life, he baptizes it. He says, I baptize events. I give every event the same name. If I have a failure, I baptize it with success in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I baptize it, right? That shit was fire. I baptize it. I have a failure in my life, I baptize it. Adversity in my life, I baptize it.
I mean, think of a vampire. Baptize it. Something
Right?
bad,
Baptize it. Boom. Anything bad, baptize it. You baptize it because it's good in your eyes. Remember, we are created in God's image. Okay, so we can do that. We can baptize whatever situation comes into our lives. It is not bad. The situations that you're going through is not bad. It's only bad because guess what? You gave it that definition. You gave it that power. But if you tell yourself, yo, this situation is good and I'm going to learn something from this situation and this situation is going to get me better, guess what? It'll always be that. He says, I baptize events. He says, I give every event the same name. What does he mean by I give every event the same name? It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. For him, it's always good. For him, it's always a blessing. For him, it's always, always, always a blessing. Always, at all times. It's the same name. You can't give it a different name. You can't be like, oh, this situation is negative. This situation is positive. No, the same name. We're going to call this situation a blessing. And every situation that happens in my life is a blessing. If you could get to the point where you're living like that, where every situation that happens in your life is a blessing, you'll reach that state of peace. I was talking with Mina yesterday, and I was telling her, sis, I haven't been this happy and this at peace in such a long time. Because everything I look at, everything that's happening in my life, in my opinion, is a blessing. I'm at so much peace. Nothing is disturbing my peace right now. Everything is a blessing. Everything is working in my favor. I'm expecting miracles, and I'm getting miracles every single day. So for me, what is there to be stressed out about? What do I need to be sad about? What do I need to be overwhelmed about? I asked for a 7-figure business. So now that I got my 7-figure business, I can't be stressed out about it. I can't turn my blessing into a burden. No, my burdens are my blessings. All this work I have to do is my blessing. All this traveling I have to do is my blessing. All these challenges I'm dealing with in my life, they are my blessing. I asked for this. We ask for things and then they happen and then you're complaining about them. It doesn't make any sense. You ask to eat and now your plate is full and now you're complaining that there's too much food on your plate. How does that make sense? I know so many people that told me, Nano, I want to make 6 figures. And now they have all this work on their plates and they're I can't, bro. It's too much stress, bro. The chats and just too much work, too many phone calls, too many calls. What you mean? You told me you wanted to make 6 figures. You wanted to make 6 figures, right? This is what it takes. It takes stepping out of your comfort zone. It takes staying up late, waking up early. It takes people leaving your business. It takes you going through these challenges. I was on the phone with Matt yesterday, and I was telling him how much I invested into Tor. I said, bro, he was like, I've been there before. And I was like, you don't know, just you telling me that gives me so much peace, because he was like, bro, I've done those exact same things. I remember when I did that during my journey. And you know what he just told me? He just gave me a confirmation that I'm doing the right things. Just by him telling me, bro, I remember making those same investments when I was at your level. I'm like, perfect. I'm doing the right things. That's all I needed to know. Sometimes that's all I need to know. I just need to know that I'm doing all the right things. Sometimes I just call Matt. I let him know, Matt, look, bro, we did our monthly mentorship. I tell him how it's going, everything. If he tells me, Manito, everything is going good, do this, do that, do this, do that. That's all I need. We good. I'm at peace. Let's keep pushing. That's what we need to understand, guys. Everything is a blessing. And I love that. He said, give every event the same name. If I have a failure, I baptize it in success. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Okay, it's key. And then he talks about this. He talks about the law of transmutation. We've done this multiple times where I've taught you guys the law of transmutation. And the law of transmutation has to do with the way that you transfer energy into certain situations and circumstances. So what he says is, in the law of transmutation, okay, through the spoken word, every failure can be transmuted into a success, as long as you learn how to channel the energy of negativity into positivity, into failure to success. You got to learn how to channel. There's something called the channel of life. You got to learn how to channel things. When negative things happen in your life, you can take that same energy of that negativity and channel it into a positive. When a failure happens in your life, if you are conscious and you are aware enough, you can take that same negative situation and channel it into a positive situation. I've done it so many times. It's something that I'm actually practicing right now. Every time something happens in my life now, I stop, I pause. Okay, this is a negative situation. Let me take this energy from this situation over here and let me transfer it to a positive situation. Let me channel it to positive. It's so key. It's been life-changing for me. I'm telling you, this is one of the things that has brought me the peace and the happiness that I have today, has been my ability to channel energy. Because think about it, there's a lot of negative energy right now. A lot of negative energy everywhere we go. Social media, the news, people, friends, family, everything. So what I do is, all this negative situation, I'm like, I can't control what I can't control. I can't control that. I can only focus on what I can control. And what is the only thing I can control? The only thing I can control is me channeling that energy into a positive energy. I can't control the fact that there's so much negative energy, because that's not something I can control. I can only control the way I perceive this energy and the way I can take that energy and channel it to a positive energy. Okay, it's a channel. It's like a path, right? Boom, from negative, boom, over here to positive. This happened in my life. Let me turn it into a positive. This situation arose in my life. Perfect. Let me turn it into a positive. And learning how to do that over and over and over and over again, you're going to get to this state where you're going to feel the peace that I'm feeling. You're going to be like, now I know when Nano meant what he said. Y'all, he was so at peace. Because everything is a blessing. Nothing affects me. Nothing puts me down. Nothing makes me sad or anything like that. Okay, now, obviously, yes, I'm still human and there's things that frustrate me and stuff like that, but I'm able to get out of them a lot faster now. I don't stay in them for a while. And that's the key. So this book is actually teaching me that. Now he says this as well. He says, for people that doubt you, that talk down on you, he says, bless your enemies. He says, bless your enemy and you rob him of his ammunition. His arrows will be transmuted into blessings. You see, sometimes when we're in these businesses, we have a lot of enemies. We have a lot of people that talk down on what we do. They talk down on the path that we're on. They talk down on the things that we do and whatever it is, right? All these people that are the naysayers that say that your business isn't going to work, that you're going to fail, and so on and so forth. He says, bless your enemy and you will rob him of the ammunition. Instead of meeting him where he's at and trying to match his energy, send him a blessing, pray for him, love on him, love on that person, send them love, send them blessings, send them abundance. You know why? Because by doing that, you rob them of the ammunition that they were using to destroy you. Because words can destroy you if you're not ready for them. Your mom and your dad and your girlfriend and your boyfriend and your friends and your family talking down to you, that hurts. It hurts. I'm telling you, it does. Because I've been there. I know what it's like to be doubted by my friends and family. I know what it's like to have a partner that doesn't believe in your vision. I know what that's like. And that hurts and that sucks too. But knowing this now, you can realize like, yo, this is amazing. Even though this person doesn't believe, I'm going to pray for them. Even though this person said this about me, I'm going to send them love. You know why? Because now they can't affect you because you're robbing them of that ammunition. How can they affect you now? You sending them love. You sending them peace. You sending them abundance. Send them those things. That's the key. He says, this law is true of nations as well as in individuals. Okay. He says, bless a nation, send love and goodwill to every person that you know, and rob them of the power to harm you. Okay. Man can only get the right idea of non-resistance through spiritual understanding. My students have often said, I don't want to be a doormat. I reply, when you use non-resistance with wisdom, no one will ever be able to walk over you. Okay. So just because, you're being such a nice person and you're sending love and abundance and peace to everybody does not mean that people are walking over you. You will never be a doormat. That's what he was teaching the students. Okay. Just because you're sending love to people and you're not trying to fight against people doesn't mean that people are walking over you. He's saying here, when you use the non-resistance with wisdom, non-resistance means there's no evil, there's no hate, there's no overwhelmness, no stress, any of that. When you use the non-resistance with the wisdom, no one will ever be able to walk over us. That's why I love on everybody. I send love to everybody. I send peace. I send gratitude because I want to walk this path with as least resistance as possible. Remember, I want to work smarter, not harder. Okay. And if I get to the point where I'm working smarter and not harder, that's eventually the super key that we want to get to, because this journey is already hard as it is. So why would I make it harder with my own thoughts and my own feelings? I want to make it easier. And the way that you make this journey easier is by you becoming better, you working on yourself daily, you doing that morning routine and those night routines. Guys, don't forget about your night routines either. Okay. Think about it. If you're only working on yourself once a day, but I'm working on myself twice a day, by the time you do what takes you a week to do, I do that in a few days. Okay. So think about it. If you're just working on yourself once a day, 7 days a week, that's 7 times. But if I'm doing it twice a day, at the end of the week, that's 14. So what took you a week to do, what took me 2 weeks to do, you did it in 1 week. Okay. But we had the same amount of time. You got to see that. That's the key. You got to know how to separate yourself from the competition. Always separate yourself more. And the way you separate yourself is through becoming better, developing yourself more. Okay. The more you develop yourself, the longer you're going to be here. The people who don't develop themselves, when those challenging times come, and those are guaranteed in this business, guaranteed in this journey, those challenging times, they're not ready for them. And because they're not ready for them, what tends to happen? They start to impress the wrong feelings and the wrong thoughts and the wrong words into the subconscious, which then leads to what? The things that they impress starts to become expressed. Now they start to get all these situations in their life like, oh, this is happening, that is happening, this is happening, this is happening. And then they end up quitting because they can't handle everything that's happening. That's how it happens. You know how many times I've seen that same scenario? When everything was good, everything was amazing. We were working, we were grinding, people were joining the business, trades were hitting. Great, right? But you don't learn nothing from success. You only learn from failure. So then the challenges come, something happens in your life, you get challenged and you allow it to affect you. The moment you allow it to affect you, the process starts, because look at what happens. The moment you allow a situation to affect you internally, that's the process. It starts. Okay, so now it affected you. Now you start to feel, right? Whatever you feel deeply about the situation, okay, is what's going to be impressed into your subconscious mind. So let me give you an example. Something that happens in our business is people leave. Okay, somebody leaves your business, right? And you feel some kind of way about it, and you allow the fact that that person left your business, you allow that to make you feel sad and down and depressed, right? As an example, one person left, okay? Then that becomes something that you feel. Oh man, this person left my business, man, I'm down. Every time you talk to one of your friends, you're talking about it. You know, a week passed and you're still talking about it. You're still thinking about it. You're going to the person's Instagram to check what they're doing. And it's just the person is living in your head rent free because they left your business and you didn't expect them to. Okay. And then look at what ends up happening. You're impressing that into your subconscious mind each and every single day, every single morning. You're feeling that deeply. And then you know what starts to happen? A week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, now the things that you were impressing in that subconscious mind, those feelings are now being expressed. Now you're attracting more of those situations. Now more people are leaving your business. More things are happening that are going to cause you to feel the same exact feelings that you were feeling when that person left. More feelings of sadness, more feelings of loneliness, more feelings that it's your fault, more and more and more. And that's what starts to happen. And now what was once a great thing has now become the worst. And I've seen that happen with people, how they go from here to here to here to here to here to here to here. Low, 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 low. Now, me, if anything happens, I just go here, I stop, and I'm like, okay, realize it, and then get back up and then go, go, go. Okay, that's how I've been able to learn, because before I used to be the person that a situation would happen and then it would bring me down and bring me down and bring me down and bring me down. And I would dig myself into these holes and I would be like, bro, Nano, come on, G, you smarter than that. You're smarter than that, Nano. Come on. You know you're not supposed to let that affect you that deep. You know you're not supposed to let something, be in your mind for more than 72 hours. You got to let it go. You got to cut it right away and look for the positive in it. Some of us, we take these things that happen in our lives and we hold them for way too long. And you're giving too much time for your subconscious mind to be impressed with those situations. That's what tends to happen right there. So last thing I'm going to cover here before we go. He also, I actually highlighted this. He said the inharmonious situation comes from the inharmony within ourselves. Okay, so we talked about it yesterday. If you're not in harmony, okay, what is in harmony? In harmony means that everything is in flow, everything is working in your favor. So if you are in harmony, means that nothing is in flow right now. So the situations that are happening in your life that are not in flow is coming from the fact that you're not in flow within. Okay, this is why I always go back. The morning routine. That's what keeps you in flow. Everything that happens for you will always happen when you are in flow. If you're not in flow, nothing will work in your favor. A lot of people always ask me, Nano, nothing's happening for me. You're not in flow. That's why. You're not doing your morning routine. When was the last time you did it for 7 days straight? How are you going to be in flow? How is anything going to ever work in your favor? You can't even work on yourself for 7 days and you want things to work in your favor. They'll never work. I'm coming from somebody like me. I'm telling you, it'll never work. Never. Doesn't matter how much you work, how much trainings you do, how much this you do. You have to be in flow. You got to get in that flow and that harmony. If you're not in that harmony, you won't get there. It's too hard. It'll be like a revolving door. As long as you are going through those situations, it'll be a revolving door. Look at this. Is it this one? Yes, right here. He says, life is a mirror, and we find only ourselves reflected in our associates. Living in the past is a failure method and a violation of spiritual law. Okay. Jesus Christ said, behold, now is the accepted time. Now is the day of salvation. The robbers of time are the past and the future. Man should bless the past and forget it if it keeps him in bondage, and bless the future knowing it has in store for him endless joys, but live fully in the now. So what is he saying by that, fam? The robbers of our time is us focusing too much on the past and giving too much focus on what's going to happen in the future. That's robbing our time, because at the end of the day, we are not in charge of the future. God is. So why are you trying to put yourself in a position of focusing on something that you don't even have no control over? And you have no control over the fact that the past already happened. So why are you spending so much time in the past? This happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. Let it go. Bless it. That had to happen so you can be the person you are today. Okay. Now bless the future, because knowing that God is going to put all the right things in the path for you to have a blessed future. But what you need to be focused on is, what can you do today, right now, to change what's going to happen moving forward? Too many of us focus too much on the past and too much on the future, but not enough on the present moment. Not enough people are present right now. Too many people are way too just lost in what's going on in life. Lost in what happened and lost in what's going to happen. But nobody is present in what's going on right now. What can you do today to change your situation? That's the question you got to be asking yourself. What are you going to do today to change your situation? What are you going to do to be present today? I'm not focused on what happened yesterday or what happened last week or what happened in the last 10 months of this year. I'm focused on what I'm going to do today, November 17 at 11 a.m. this morning. I'm focused and I'm present on this call right now. I'm not thinking about what happened yesterday, and I'm not thinking about what's going to happen in the future. Right now, I'm focused on this call, just us. Mornings with Nano, November 17. I am present in this moment. This is all I'm focused on right now, giving you guys the best version of myself and making sure I leave you guys with an impression of increase for the next few minutes. That's my goal. That's my present moment. Understanding that is key. Okay. And that's what they're saying. He says, bless the future, knowing it has in store endless joys, and live fully in the now. Okay. This is super, super key. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to say is this. All right. Because that wraps up kind of like everything that he was saying in the law of non-resistance. But get this book if you don't have it. If you want to read what I've been reading lately, The Law of the Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. It's a great book. It's been teaching me things that I don't like to say I already knew it, but it helped me dive deep into topics that I had been aware of. Okay. It made me like, I was already aware of the law of non-resistance. You know, I was aware of the subconscious mind. I was aware of a lot of this information, but it's something that's now helping me dive deeper into it, and it's giving me different perspectives from different angles of how to look at this, and it's making me more and more better at all of these things. Okay, I actually understand the law of non-resistance a lot better than I did before. Okay, I understand the power of the word a lot better than I did before. I understand active faith now even more. Now that, like, I always had active faith, but now that I'm aware of it, it's even better, because now I understand that work is faith. Okay. And now I understand that when I do want something, I know how to show active faith on how to get it. Like we talked about the woman that wanted the apartment, right? How did she show active faith? By buying the blanket. Instead of her being, oh, no, I'm not going to buy the blanket because I'm not going to get the apartment. She said, no, the apartment is already mine. Let me buy the blanket. Buying the blanket showed active faith. And because she bought the blanket, 2 days later, she got the apartment, and in a time when nobody was supposed to get one. Okay. You got to know how to show active faith. So look for the situations where you get tested on your active faith, because there's going to be situations in your life that are going to show up to see if you are actively faithful in the vision. And that is something that we got to be searching for, because some of you guys right now may be going through a situation where you're being tested on your faith and you're not seeing it. And maybe you getting through that test and passing that faithful moment right there is what's going to get you the situation and the goals that you want. Okay, fam. So show active faith, understand the law of non-resistance, and that is what's going to change everything for you, fam. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this, and I hope that, you know, everything that we've been talking about over the last few days have really started to make a lot more sense. I know we've been talking about it since Monday, but from the looks of it, it seems like it's getting a better understanding. People are breaking it down more. Type a 333 in the chat box if everything's been, you know, just diving deeper and making more sense. Okay, like if it's just been hitting a little bit different as the days go, you're kind of understanding it more, overstanding it more, you know, really breaking it down. That's the key. That's the key. And that's what you want to get to. You want to get to those moments where you're really, you know, getting there. Okay. And that's the goal. So I hope that this helps you guys find the peace that you're looking for. I hope that this call as well is able to, you know, make you realize that the situations that are in your life are happening for you and not to you. Okay. And like we said, when something happens in our life, we baptize it. We baptize it. We bless it. Thank you for this blessing. Thank you for this blessing, God. This is a blessing right here. This situation is a blessing. I know there's certain people that are going through things on this call because I see your names on here. And I just want you to know that whatever situation that you're going through, bless it, baptize it. This is for you, fam. All right. So take that with you. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. This is my Instagram if you guys want to follow me. Thank you guys for all the love that you guys been showing me on my Instagram post and just everything in general. I'm super blessed and grateful.
Somebody's asking about the event. Where is it?
Where's the event today?
It is in Jersey City.
It's in Jersey City.
How did you get it? Yeah.
I'm gonna I'll post the link in my I have the link in my bio, and if it's not, I'll post it again this morning after the call. I'll post it in there so you can just go to it with the Eventbrite and everything. We have
It's actually in Jersey City in John F. Kennedy Boulevard. Isn't it in the college?
what's the school name?
NJCU.
The name of the school is NJCU, New Jersey Community College.
Yeah, and it's gonna be in
New
the
Jersey City, New
Galligan
York.
Student Union Building. Galligan Student Union Building.
Well, I'll just post it. It's a lot easier, but it's in a school. I got a few people I want to invite. Yeah, so I'll post it. I'll post it in the chat. Sorry, not in the chat. I'll post it in the morning's keys to success chat, but I'll also post it on my story as well, so you guys can follow it from there as well. So Arizona has an event today as well. If you guys want to connect with Roxy, that's her Instagram right there, Divinely Roxy, if you guys are in the Arizona area. But with that being said, that wraps up today's call. I'm gonna do a quick prayer for us, and we're gonna go, guys. So everybody bow your heads, quick prayer, and let's get out of here. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with this beautiful Thursday morning where we get a chance to grow, we get a chance to elevate and become best versions of ourselves. Today, we learned a very valuable lesson about the law of non-resistance and understanding that fear, worry, insecurities, none of those things exist in our reality, God. We have you by our side, and we pray that you eliminate all the fear, all the doubts, all the worry, all the insecurities from our lives. And we only see love, and we only see peace. We only see abundance, and only things that align with your purpose and with your vision, God. We want to thank you so much for always guiding us, for protecting us, keeping our energy clean and always away from all the negativity and only allowing the positivity in our lives. We pray that you continue to guide us and give us the wisdom for us to grow. We're going to continue to serve our purpose and be the best versions of ourselves so we can be the example we want to see in others. So let's go out there. Let's have a great event that we have today here in Jersey. Over 250 plus people confirmed. Everybody's going to sign up today. Everybody's going to be impacted. Everyone's going to have breakthroughs, and we are excited for a blessed day. So let's go out there and have one. And we love you and we appreciate you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's go. Woo! Fire. All right, fam. So with that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys at the event here in New Jersey at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We start. Make sure you guys are there early, 6:30 arrival time, 7 o'clock start. Be there. It's going to be legendary. Don't miss it.
You're
If
gonna
you are,
want to need a seat.
yes, you're going to want to see. It's going to be standing. There's people that's going to be standing because we already have over 250 plus tickets confirmed. All right, fam. So love you. I appreciate y'all. And let's get it.